Hey you guys, so those of y'all that commented earlier and said that you wanted my hot chocolate recipe, I am going to show it to you now. The reason that I went in search of a hot chocolate recipe that was not based with dairy and that was not in a packet that you buy at the store is because the one on the store at the store has tons of chemicals in it and preservatives, and then most of them are dairy based. So I love hot chocolate, but I can never tolerate them. Hi Loretta. If like this box, it's unopened, and I was looking at it and it expired in, oh, I don't even want to tell you the date. It expired in 2012. So obviously it's been sitting in our pantry forever and hasn't been drank because I'm the one that likes hot chocolate, but I can't tolerate it. But in it, the first ingredient is sugar. Second ingredient is whey. Third ingredient is cocoa, and then it has corn syrup, solids, non-fat milk, salt, all kinds of chemicals. I don't know what they are. So that's what sent me in search of a better recipe for hot chocolate. And I pulled off a couple that were on Pinterest and tried them and didn't like them. So what I went to do was kind of tweak the ones that I found and find something that worked for me, that tasted good. And then once I kind of tried a couple different versions, then I took it to the kids. And one of them knew I was making a new recipe and said, it kind of tastes like coffee. And so then I added a little bit more of a couple things, and then she's like, yes, that's good. So then I took it to my son, didn't tell him it was anything new. I just said, here, I made you some hot chocolate. And he drank it, and then he came back to me and he was like, oh my God, that was so good. So I was like, yay, I'm so excited, because he didn't know it was a recipe that was new, and he said it was good. Otherwise, most of the time, hi Leanne, most of the time the kids, whenever they know I'm making something new, it kind of sets them up, I feel like, to where they don't want to try it because they feel like it's not going to taste good because it's something new I'm trying. So that was a big success for me. But what this has in it, I start with unsweetened almond milk, okay? That's the first thing that I add, and that is 2 cups. This will make like 2 to 3, 4 servings, depending on how big of a cup of hot chocolate that you want. So I did 2 cups of the unsweetened almond milk. I warmed it up. I warmed it up right before I got onto the video with you, but I warmed it up almost to boiling, but not to boiling. I don't want it to be like scorching hot. So I've got it pretty warm right now. And then what I'm adding here is 2 tablespoons of cocoa. And this is our local grocery store brand, but it says in the ingredients 100% cocoa. So when I started kind of learning how to cook better and eat healthier foods, it was kind of like you have to break it down to where you look at ingredients and make sure that it's like a pure whatever it is that you're trying to get, because there's so many things that have preservatives and additives and flavorings in it. The next thing is maple syrup. And if you look at this, if you've followed me for any length of time, you've probably already heard me say this, but the ingredient in this is simply maple syrup. So if you look at a lot of the popular brands of syrup, they aren't actually syrup. They may have corn syrup in it or some type of hydrogenated oils, but it's not truly maple syrup. So when you look for syrup, even though it may cost you $1 or $2 more than your regular one, that's what you want to look for. And syrup is something that is in a lot of clean recipes and is used as a natural sweetener. So this maple syrup, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of it. It actually gives it some of the sugar, so it's a natural sugar, but it also gives it a little bit of flavor too with the maple. Okay, so that is our maple syrup, and then I have a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. This is another thing. If you go look at the store, there's a lot of what they claim to be vanilla extract, and if you look at it closely, it says vanilla flavoring or something like that. So you look at the ingredients and it has all kinds of things. This one, it just says vanilla bean extractives, if I say that right, and alcohol. That's all it has in it. So we're going to do a teaspoon of this. Ooh, that's correct, yes. So we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we have honey. And I recommend with honey that you try to buy something local or something that's kind of local to you. That tends to be better quality and it's like fresher and doesn't have any other things added into it. And I'm looking to see if this says it has anything else. It just says it's pure honey. Okay, so the honey, I started out with doing 2 tablespoons of honey. And when I first gave it to my kids, the first one that said it kind of tasted like coffee, that is when I added more honey. So what you can do with this is, when you make this, is kind of play it by ear. Now we just whisk it together. So just kind of play it by ear and try it with just 2 of each one of those, or even just 2 of one of them, and see if it's sweet enough for you. So basically just whisking it up, and then it's ready to go. It's ready to drink. Hi, Kelly. So that is the basis of this recipe. So once I have whisked that up, then I take some and put it in a cup, and it is good to go. And everybody in the family has approved of this recipe. So if you didn't log on right at the beginning, the recipe is 2 cups of unsweetened almond milk, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of regular cocoa, just cocoa, and then 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey. So you can kind of play around with the honey and the maple syrup and kind of see how it tastes to you and what you like, because the original recipe that I had found on Pinterest that this is based on, that started with the almond milk, it only had 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or 2 tablespoons of honey. And when I tried that, it just didn't taste good. So that's how I kind of tweaked this a little bit and made it to where the whole family approves. And to me, it's like the ultimate test is when the kids approve of something. So once they approved of it, I was like, yes, now I've got it. So, hey, Robert. So y'all give that a try. I can email y'all the recipe if you want a printable copy, but it's pretty simple. So give it a try and tell me what you think. Thanks, Loretta. So y'all have a good night, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it goes. I know here in Texas, South Texas, we're supposed to be getting a cold front tomorrow. It's supposed to be getting a lot colder for us. I know some of y'all live further north and other places where y'all are used to the cold, but in Texas we're not. So this is something we'll probably pop out tomorrow night and drink to help warm us up. So I hope it warms y'all up. You're welcome, Leanne. So y'all have a great night. I'll talk to y'all soon.